Let's make pizza rolls. You're watching the Bear Pantry Show. Alright guys, so this is what we're going to need. In this bowl I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of butter, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and that's it so far. You're supposed to add some Italian herbs and spices, but I don't have any, so we're going to do good old oregano in a little while, okay? We're going to need about a cup of milk. This is about a cup or so of spaghetti sauce, and any spaghetti sauce that you like will do, okay? This is some sharp cheddar, any cheese that you like will do. And of course I have some pepperoni, and you don't have to put the pepperoni if you don't have any. So let's move some of this stuff out of the way. And what I'm going to do is just sprinkle a little bit of the oregano. Don't put too much to overpower it, okay? We want to cut our butter in, and this butter is softened to room temperature. We want to cut our butter into the flour. So this is almost like making like a flour tortilla type dough. And pour a little bit of the milk. And remember when I taught you guys how to make dough, you want to always add the wet ingredients slowly, okay, and work it in. It takes patience to make dough. So if you're impatient in cooking, you don't want to mess around with dough and stuff, alright? I think we're almost there. I don't know that we'll need that little extra bit of milk. So it's just right almost at a cup. And again, it depends on how you measure your flour. If you kind of pack your flour down, you're going to need all of it. If you measure it correctly like I did, you're not going to need all of it, okay? So this is wet enough. What I'm going to do is dump this out of the bowl on the counter, on a floured countertop, and then we're going to start rolling it out. So I'll be back when I'm rolling it out. Alright, so here we are. I just kind of lightly floured the countertop. You don't want to have to do too much because the flour will make it a little bit dry. And basically, all we want to do is kind of knead it so it's not like wet. And we're going to use our rolling pin. And we're going to roll this into a rectangle, alright? While I'm working on the dough, I've set the oven to preheat on 390 degrees Fahrenheit. This is going to bake pretty hot, pretty fast. It's going to go for around 25 minutes. And at that point, you want to check it to see if they're crispy enough for you, okay? My kids tend to like it more crisp, so we go a little bit longer than that. But the average is about 25 minutes on 390. And here it is, our little rectangle coming out here, and we want to get it as thin as we can go without it breaking, all right? So just have some patience with it. It's looking nice, right? I'm going to do it this way. Beautiful. See the beautiful oregano in it? Can you imagine if we had the Italian spices? Much more colorful that would be. And this is almost like we do when we're doing the loaf of bread or cinnamon rolls. So what I'm doing here is just kind of evening up the sides without having to cut it, alright? So this is what I'm doing. Okay, so now it's time for the fun part. We're gonna put our spaghetti sauce. And you don't want to like overdo this. You want to be lavish with it, but don't overdo it, especially on the sides, because it's going to give you trouble to roll, because we're going to roll this like a log. So let me get this piece of tomato out of there. So just going to rub it along. So these are like, what did I call them? Pizza rolls, right? So I think that's enough. My kids would want me to put more, but I promise you, if you overdo it, it'll give you a hard time to roll. Then we're going to put the cheese, and this is why I tell you guys, put any cheese you want. It could be, this is sharp cheddar, you could put Parmesan, you could put, what's the other one? Pepper jack. My kids like pepper jack. They like the hot in it, the spice. And just put the cheese. Again, you don't want to overdo any of this because it'll give you trouble to roll. You'll see why. And then just kind of drop, this is pepperoni that I've just kind of sliced into 4s. Just kind of drop it loosely all over our roll right here. And like I said, if you don't have pepperoni, you don't have to put it. You don't have to run out to the store and buy that just because you don't have pepperoni. Just kind of all over. And then next, what we're going to do is roll it tight like a log, okay? Kind of like the way we do cinnamon rolls. So you start off on this end, and you just kind of roll. And if you're rolling it correctly, some of it will follow, but don't worry about it. So it's coming along nicely. See why I tell you can't put too much of the spaghetti sauce and too much of the stuff. See how it's all rolling out? And you don't want to like, let's roll it in there. Beautiful. Okay, so I forgot to warn you guys that this is going to be messy. Anyways, that's tucked up tight as a log. Get my hands cleaned up, and then when I come back, we're going to be slicing it and putting it on the baking sheet. So I have my baking sheet here, and I've lined it with aluminum foil, tin foil, or silver foil, whatever you know it by, because in Belize we call it silver foil. And you just want to not press too tight on the thing, okay? So this is all I'm doing. Cutting the log. And then placing it right here on the baking sheet, spaced apart, okay? And we're gonna stick it in the oven and watch it cook for about 25 minutes. Mine is gonna go a little bit longer because my kids like it almost to the point of burnt, all right? So I'll be back in about a half hour or so. All right guys, time to taste our pizza rolls. Look how beautiful they are, take a look. And the white stuff on it is dipping sauce, which is just basically ranch. These are so good. Look, see? Mine look kind of burnt or high brown. My Aunt Tiny used to say it's not burnt, it's high brown. And it's because my kids like it to crisp over like this. And see, the bottoms are fine, but they're so delicious and crispy. I went an extra 7 minutes on top of the 25 minutes that I told you guys to bake it for, okay? Made it crispy, and it's just actually so awesome. When you guys make this, tell me how it comes out. It goes good for potluck and game night and stuff like that. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the show. If you liked the video, hit like below. Thank you for picking up my book. This is actually in Jada's book too, Pizza Roll. I'm telling you guys, we're working some stuff out of Jada's book because that's coming up pretty soon, alright? Until I see you guys again, take care. Please check out my review channel right here on YouTube. It's called Bear Pantry Talk. Also, check out my vlog channel. It's called Babs Bear Talk.